Your day is full of games you didn't know you were playing. The choices feel personal, but the logic repeats, which meant game theory can explain coffee lines, car merges, and even text replies. Here's the core idea. Strategic thinking isn't only for casinos, it's for any moment where your outcome depends on someone else's move. Therefore, simple rules can guide better everyday decisions. Start with the ultimatum game, because fairness keeps ambushing pure payoff. Two players must split $10. One proposes a split, the other can accept and both get paid, or reject and both get zero. If you chase money only, you should accept any positive amount. A rational robot takes $1 out of 10, which meant the proposer could keep 9 and face no risk. But in real labs since the 1980s, very low offers get rejected. People routinely turn down 2 out of 10, and even 1 out of 10 almost always fails. Therefore, fair enough beats more than nothing. Why reject free money? Because a tiny offer feels insulting, which meant rejection buys fairness by punishing the proposer now to improve future offers later. Signals matter. The responder's no tells others, I won't be pushed. Therefore, the next negotiation, at work, at home, at the market, starts closer to 50-50. Culture, stakes, and relationships shift the line a little. Strangers behave differently from close colleagues, and $10 feels different than a month's rent, but the broad pattern holds. Fairness has price and power. Notice what this means for you outside the lab. Open with a split that looks balanced, because a partner who feels respected is less likely to blow up the deal, which meant you preserve both payoff and trust. Next, let's untangle a famous puzzle where opinion often smothers data. Monty Hall. 3 closed doors. Behind one is a car and behind 2 are goats. You pick a door. The host, who knows everything, opens a different door to show a goat, then offers you a chance to switch. Most people stay put because 2 doors feel 50-50. But your first pick had a 1 in 3 chance, which meant the other 2 doors together held 2 in 3. When the host opens a goat, that entire 2 in 3 probability flows to the remaining closed door. Therefore, switching wins about 2/3 of the time, while staying wins about 1/3. You can hear the logic in a quick run. If your first choice was wrong, which happens 2 times out of 3, the host is forced to reveal the other goat and the unopened door must be the car. Therefore, switching saves you in all those cases. Anchors help the intuition. The TV show Let's Make a Deal dates to the 1960s, and a 1990 magazine column made the puzzle famous, which meant large mailbags of outrage arrived before simulation calmed nerves. The key is the host's knowledge. If a random stranger opened a random door, 50-50 might apply. With a host constrained to reveal a goat, information tilts the odds. Therefore, your best default is to switch. Now shift from probability to psychology with a trap that wastes time and money. Sunk costs. A sunk cost is effort or expense you cannot recover, which means it should not influence the next decision. We cling anyway. We finish bad books and limp through doomed projects because we already invested. Therefore, we throw good hours after bad dollars. Here's a 1-sentence test to cut the knot. If this option were free today, would I still choose it? Which meant you focus on future value instead of past pain. Use it when you consider a half-built hobby you never enjoy. Use it when a commute shortens but your old gym sits across town because the past is gone and only future benefits can pay you back. Finally, a mini myth. Win-win means no trade-off. Story says smart deals come without costs. Evidence says incentives still govern behavior even when both sides gain. A win-win is a Pareto improvement where at least one person gets better off without making anyone worse off. But resources remain limited and attention scarce, which meant every yes closes some other door. If a supplier offers faster delivery without higher price, they likely restructured tasks or accepted risk. Your gain still drew on their capacity, therefore they expect loyalty, volume, or reputation in return. Calling a deal win-win can also hide how the surplus splits. One party may capture most of the benefit because they own scarce assets or better options, which meant outcomes reflect bargaining power, not slogans. So design incentives that keep cooperation stable. Promise behavior you can sustain, reward what you actually want, and check what each side sacrifices to make room for the gains. Therefore, the deal survives real life. We're ready for a challenge that turns neighbors into strategists. Imagine a repeated prisoner's dilemma with the person living next door. Each week for 20 weeks, you both choose cooperate or defect. If both cooperate, you each receive a good outcome. If one defects while the other cooperates, the defector gets a larger short-term gain, and the cooperator gets hurt. If both defect, you both get a poor result. Errors happen, messages get lost, or someone misreads a move, which meant a brittle plan can spiral. Game theory suggests a simple rule that often thrives: tit for tat. Start nice by cooperating in week 1. Then mirror your neighbor's previous move, which meant you reward cooperation with cooperation and punish defection with defection. Add a little forgiveness to handle noise. If one weird defection appears after a long cooperative streak, resume cooperation next time instead of launching a feud, therefore you escape accidental loops. Your decision scenario is to propose a variant strategy you believe will outperform tit for tat in this 20-week neighborhood. Maybe you add 2 strikes before punishment, or win stay, lose shift, or grim trigger that defects forever after the first betrayal. State it clearly and say why. We won't reveal any ranking now. We'll reveal it and highlight the best takes in the next Mind Maze stream. Before we close, hold this distilled takeaway. Fairness can beat pure payoff, information can flip odds, sunk costs can trap smart people, and incentives never sleep, which meant clear rules and calm numbers outperform hunches. If this episode sharpened your everyday strategy, subscribe for more mind-stretching journeys each week.